Hey guys, I'm back. I'll show you this Simply Lemonade and Simply Apple. I'm going to try the apple here. It says shake well. And it's got a protector here. That's pretty tasty. Pilot has those for 2 for $3. Got her get going here. Got some coffee too, but I wanted to try the juice. Hopefully I wasn't holding that guy up. He wasn't behind me when I went into the pilot, so I'm thinking not. I'm hoping you guys can see this. If not, I guess you're gonna get some audio to listen to. Listen to me flabbing my mouth. Went to Best Buy yesterday and made the mistake of putting my hands on a new Motorola Razr. I've got the original Motorola Droid, the first one, and I don't know, you guys may know this, but I'm kind of a techno geek. That's what they call. When I was in high school, they called us geeks. Nowadays, it's nerd, or I don't know what the hell they call people like me now, but you know, people that liked computers, and of course now a lot of that stuff's cool. Young kids today, if you're into computers and electronics and stuff, you're considered cool. When I was in high school, unless you played football or something, or basketball, you were not cool. Figured I'd let you guys hear me go up the ramp there. I don't know how well you can hear the engine in this video, but that was a nice long full throttle run there. I wish you guys could hear the turbo spool up. This microphone does not pick up that up very well. But so I was talking about being a geek. You know, back when I was in high school, at the nerdy kids or geeky kids or whatever, you know, they liked computers and technology, and you weren't popular. And today it's kind of the other way around. I mean, I'm sure the jocks are still popular, but you know, there's a little more respect for the geeky smart kids. I think the girls like them a little bit more than they did back when I was in high school. And probably because they realized that someday the smart, dorky, geeky kid's gonna have a good job, or might have a good job. I don't know. Who knows? But I forget where I was going with this. Oh, I've got an original Droid, and it's been rooted, which means it's been hacked, and I've got a custom ROM on it, so it's running a totally custom operating system, and it's overclocked. So it's running 1,000 megahertz, about almost double the factory speed, and it does pretty good. Nothing wrong with the phone. Does everything I want it to do. Map, navigation, you know, it pretty much works perfectly. But man, I went in there and I had a functional Razr, Motorola Razr in there. Bigger screen, that's nice, and dual core processor, and it was just, dude, it was fast as hell. Just, you know, you hit maps, how fast a map would pop up and it would draw the screen. It was amazing. But yeah, we were talking about Jeeps earlier and how you want something nice and new and shiny, and nice new shiny cell phone was cool too, but $300 with contract, my phone still works. You know, if my phone was broken or it wasn't holding a charge anymore, or you know, there was something like that, maybe I'd do it. Although my friend pointed something out to me, right now we can be grandfathered in as far as the unlimited data, but you know, that may go away at some point, and that may be the best reason to re-up the contract and get some new phone, would be that you'd get 2 more years of guaranteed unlimited data. So, you know, that might be a valid reason, but still, I think I'd like to wait a month, 2, you know, maybe that price drops from 300 down to 200, or, you know, but it's nice, man. It's got a stainless steel core on the phone as far as structure, Kevlar, the back on it's made out of Kevlar, the front of it's made out of Gorilla Glass, which is really strong, and it's waterproof, it's splash proof. You can like splash water on it, and even the connectors are waterproof. So I kind of like it. But anyway, so I looked at that, and then I've been thinking about a tablet for my mom. She likes to play do Sudoku, you know, the math problems, and it looks like crossword puzzles, but it's math problems, and she likes doing that. And I thought, I mean, it seems like a stupid thing, but she likes to sit on the back porch in the summertime and, you know, read a book, do her little puzzles. And I thought, she's got Wi-Fi at the house, and I thought, well, a little tablet would be perfect for that. And so I was looking at different ones, and the guy there recommended I was looking at the Motorola Zoom, and he recommended, oh crap, what the hell, which one was it? It wasn't that one. Wasn't the Aspire, it was, oh crap, can't remember what the, I mean, I can picture it, but I can't remember the name of the damn thing off the top of my head. Anyway, it's a 10-inch screen. He just liked it a lot. He said the hardware was a little better in it. It had a replaceable battery, a replaceable back. It had a full-size SD card slot, which is kind of nice. A lot of them have the micro SDs, and the nice thing is you can get a 32 gig class 10 SD card for a lot less money. There's more options on the full-size SD cards. But the thought with the tablet is, I think my mom will like it, but if she doesn't like it or decides she doesn't want to use it, I'll end up having it for myself. She'll just give it to me, and I would rather have an Android tablet. She's got a Mac, but honestly, she's not really very Apple-fied. With her Mac, all she does is turn it on. The email automatically pops up, and she reads her email and replies and turns it off. She doesn't really know anything about Macs. She doesn't know anything about the operating system. If she was very familiar with how to operate a Mac, I'd probably get her an iPad. But she's not. It doesn't mean anything to her. So I thought Android tablet might be better because I'm familiar with Android, and if she has any issues or wants to know anything, I'll be in a better position to help her using it. Also, if and when I ever get a phone with a forward-facing camera, it'll be easier for us to do, online chatting, so anyway, that was just my thought. But both of those are kind of pricey, and she's kind of. The other thought would be to get her a TV. She's still running a 27-inch tube TV, not high def or anything, and she's got digital cable, and the screen kind of looks funny on her TV because it's not really. It's kind of letterboxed, and it's such a small screen to run letterbox. It looks a little odd. So what I thought about was getting a TV for us and giving her our HD TV, which she's kind of limited by the size. She's only got a space about 36 inches across for it to fit inside, so I can't really go get her a new one. I think our older HD TV will fit, and maybe get us a little bigger one. So I don't know. A lot of things to think about for Christmas. She's done a lot for me. We usually go pretty sparing on Christmas, both me to her and her to me. She's on fixed income and doesn't have a whole lot of extra money, and so she tends to buy me, socks and underwear and things I can use that don't cost a whole lot of money, and I greatly appreciate that. It'd be kind of nice for me to get her something really nice for Christmas for a change. But on the other hand, I don't want to get her something and have her be upset that I spent that much money. And she is the kind of person that would do that. So, all kinds of things floating around in my head. New cell phone, tablets, TVs, and Jeeps. Oh boy. Why can't I just win the Mega Millions lottery? That'd be so much easier. Are here. Somewhere along this way the construction starts. Oh. Yeah, they didn't have any food in there I wanted. They didn't have any corn dogs. None of the stuff they had in the hot box looked appetizing to me. They had in the cooler, they had an egg salad sandwich or a tuna salad sandwich, and both of those kind of sounded good, but I don't know that I want to eat egg salad or tuna salad from a truck stop refrigerated how old is it? How long has it been in there? I don't know. It sounded really good. I like egg salad, depending on how it's made, and that would be the other problem. Download the YP app. Yellow Pages, I guess. So, I think I'm just going to let this record. I'm just kind of curious to see how long it'll record for, and I'll break it up. In the movie editor. So if it does end abruptly, I apologize. But it should last at least 2 hours total. So I've been recording for about 45 minutes now, I think. Although if I get tired of talking, I may shut it off. And I don't know how long the batteries will last. These are new batteries that I just charged up. Got some batteries from a whole set of AAA and AA's. All of my rechargeable batteries were getting a little bit worn out. I had a few of them that were not taking a charge properly. So they all work. So I put them in the in a stack of they work but not great. Keep them as a backup. Hey, look, Mega Millions, $75 million. That'd be good. I bet I could afford a Jeep. What the fuck is that? Oh, there's something laying in the middle of the road there. Ah, look. Nice clean window. Oh, but the batteries, yeah, they were all getting kind of crappy. And so I bought I'm trying to think where I got it from. Missing adult, Ohio license, CMA 2894. I see a bunch of those recently. Oh, I need the other lane. But yeah, I'll maybe. I always say I'll annotate on the video the information, and I always seem to forget. If I remember, I'll put the kind of batteries I bought. Haven't really fully tested them yet. They seem to be working pretty well. They took a long time to charge. In my new, I've got a new 4-channel intelligent charger, and that last little bit to top off the battery seems like it takes a long time. But usually, if you charge batteries up fully, nice and slow, they work a little bit better. So that's why I'm kind of curious to see how long this camera will record. Give me an idea of the discharge rate. Oh, God, I really wish I'd get this fucking finished here through Dayton. They've been working on this for freaking ever. This section, then another section. As much money as they have spent right here is terrible right here. You have to be really careful. It's real easy to get too close to that wall. For all the money and time they've spent redoing I-75 through Dayton, Ohio, they probably could have just built a freaking bypass and been done with it. They've got it done through town now. Now they're just working on this section here. I just wish they'd fucking get done with it. Seems like they piddle along with it and work here and there, and I mean it's been ongoing for I don't know how long, 8 or 10 years they've been working on this. Started in the north side of town and worked their way south. It's been non-stop. Time they get it done, they'll need to start over again because it won't be enough road for the traffic. by the time they get done with it. Perfect example of how not to do construction. You know, get the project all laid out, get the money together, fucking do it, get it done. Work overtime, work weekends, work at night. Just fucking get it done. Some projects they do that. I mean, they redid 275 on the north side of Cincinnati. They added a lane on each direction, repaved, new exits. They had it done in like 3 years. I mean, they had to completely redo the highway. You'd have to move to the other side. I mean, it was a pretty involved project, but the entire time they kept 2 lanes going each direction, at least 2 lanes. So there really was not a restriction in flow while they did it. It was pretty impressive. Now we're on the new part. One thing that I find a lot too is where the asphalt meets like the overpasses, it's not very smooth. I've been noticing that a lot. I don't know whether it's just me or whether you watch even the cars. Let's see if I don't know how this one is. Wasn't too bad there, and it wasn't too bad there. I think maybe on the other side coming back, it's really the asphalt in the bridge overpass doesn't meet up very smoothly. Somewhere through here, it's that way. That one was pretty smooth too. It must have been on the southbound side. There's quite a lot of bridges that are that way. You come off the asphalt and then the bridge is lower or it's sagging in the middle or something, and you'll see the dark spot on the bridge where the vehicles like, drop. And I'm thinking, that can't be good for the fucking bridge. Here's one that's rough. Boing, right there, see? That can't be good for that bridge. How hard would it have been to spend an extra few hours to make sure that the transition from asphalt to bridge overpass was smooth? There's a couple up near Chicago on 65, and about throw you out of your fucking seat. No excuse for that. Poor design, poor engineering, or poor execution. I don't know which, or maybe all three. I just don't remember, when I was younger, I don't remember bridges being that way. No, I don't know. Of course, I wasn't driving a truck, so maybe that's it. This apple juice is really good, by the way. It's not from concentrate. It's called Simply Apple. Wasn't too bad. They had them on sale for 2 for $3, so it's $1.50. Oh, look, they got a Christmas tree. Aristocrat Products Manufacturing Company Incorporated. That was a nice sized tree. Had a lot of lights on it. wow, that's unusual. JTM, JTMFoodGroups.com. Life, what a beautiful choice. JTM, a right-to-life company. That's unusual. Normally, you do not see a major company like that taking a strong stand on something that's pretty controversial. You know, most of the time they'd rather just not say anything. They got a big picture of a baby under a blanket. That's unusual. I congratulate them for taking a moral stand on something. Whether you agree or disagree with abortion, that's not what I'm getting at. Just it's unusual for a company. See that? See, look at these washers. Sorry. The spray is all fucking down here, and all you get up near the top is what the wipers happen to fling up there. So anyway, yeah, that's unusual for a big company to do that. What I don't understand on the big box trailers like that, why in the hell don't they do advertising on the sides and on the backs of trucks? I mean, people pay big money for billboard space and for advertising. Why in the hell don't people I mean, even the major trucking companies, I mean, times are tough, budgets are tight. I wonder why they don't put, I mean, obviously they got to have the name of the company on the side, but I wonder why they don't sell advertising. You got a big rolling billboard that goes all over the country. I don't understand why they, now, occasionally you'll see like the U.S. Marines, and it's the whole side of the trailer. But other than that, very rarely do you see any kind of advertising on the side of a trailer. Big white rolling billboard. I don't know, maybe it's illegal, but I mean, like, buses do it. Metro buses usually have advertising. They got that, you know, the skin on the outside. I don't understand why trucking companies don't do that. Maybe it's illegal or something. I don't know. I'm running way behind. I was supposed to be up there in Defiance at 7. It's gonna be fucking 8:30 time I get up there. I overslept about a half an hour. And when I got to S&B to pick up the load, one of the other drivers was there, and today's his last day. He's retiring, so I sat and bullshitted with him for 10 or 15 minutes, and then I had to stop and fuel, and that was 15 minutes, and there you go, there's an hour. They're not going to care, but not really what I wanted to have happen today. Schedule was all screwed up though this week. Monday, like I said, I didn't say actually, but my truck was in for service. Dropped it off over the holiday on Wednesday, and picked it up on Monday morning. They still didn't have it done. All it was for the winterization. Check engine light was coming on occasionally, and I asked him to adjust the clutch pedal. And he's like, well, we were closed except for 2 days. And I was like, well, that's okay. When they took on the project, our service manager, we've got a service center up in Fort Wayne. Our service manager asked them, we need the winterization done, and we need this checked out. Can you do that? And they said, sure, we can do that. But then they didn't have enough staff to do it. Miami Valley International on Highway Drive in Sharonville. Unfortunately, it's the only international dealer in like southern Ohio. So there's not really another one anywhere close. And I guess the work had to be done by a dealer because the truck's still under warranty. But let me tell you what, those people, I mean, they're busy. I mean, no doubt that they're busy. They got, I don't know how many bays in there, a lot, and they're just always packed. But you talk about the right hand not talking to the left hand. I mean, you got two guys working in an office, not much bigger than this truck, and neither one of them knows what the hell's going on. We're not going to use them anymore. It's unfortunate because it was convenient for me, rather than having to drive to Fort Wayne or stop in Fort Wayne, drop off the truck, switch trucks, and go back to Fort Wayne. It was really convenient to have the work done in Cincinnati, where I live. But we've tried them a couple, 3 times, and every time they've taken twice as long as they should have to get it done, and/or they didn't actually do anything. And it was sent in to do the winterization, which I think is change the filters, probably flush the coolant. I don't know. Look at this jackass. I don't know what he's doing. And they didn't even know what it was. When I went in, they're like, well, came in for some winterization thing, and we're not even sure what that is. I'm like, well, then why did you accept the job? When he said, can you do the winterization, instead of saying, sure, we can do that, I mean, it was obvious they took it on for the money, but they had no intention of actually doing what was supposed to be done, let alone know what it was. And so I hadn't heard on Friday, I hadn't heard or whether they had the truck repaired or not. So on Monday, I waited till 7 o'clock in the morning, called International. Yeah, we're not quite done with it. It's on its final road test and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking, I knew that was gonna happen. You gotta be fucking kidding me. So I went up there, my wife took me up there, and he still wasn't ready when I got up there. We stopped and had lunch and everything. It was probably 11 when I finally got up there, because they said they still had some things to do and a couple of road tests. I'm like, all right. So I didn't rush to get up there. Get up there about 11, 11:30, 12. I don't remember. Still wasn't done. And at that point, I had already talked to my boss, and he's like, look, just take the truck, you take it for a test drive, and if everything is okay, you need to go. So I went up there and talking to the guy, and he's like, well, you're just going to take the truck, I guess. And he's like, yeah. I said, well, I'm still waiting on paperwork from your company. I can't let you take the truck till I have the paperwork. And I already knew they had faxed it, and he said, yeah, but we aren't receiving the faxes for some reason. I called my boss back, and he's like, well, I emailed it, and he had emailed it like 10 in the morning. And he says, well, I'll check my email, and it'll be a couple of minutes. And I was like, okay, let me go outside and tell my wife to go park the car, because she just pulled out in front of the door and was sitting there in the middle of the parking lot, thinking it was going to be 5 or 10 minutes. So I went outside to tell her we need to move the car and park, called my boss, gave him an update, walked back in there, and the fucking asshole went to lunch, not giving me the keys. So I had to wait a half an hour for him to come back from lunch, when just to give me the key. Because the other guy that was in there couldn't give me the key because he hadn't checked his email yet to see if he got the papers. It's just little shit like that all the time. You're talking to a customer wants to leave with his vehicle. The customer says, I'll be back in 2 minutes. I got to tell my wife to move the car. And while he's out doing that, you go to lunch. Just unbelievable. So I had no choice. My wife had to leave. So I'm sitting there in the break room waiting for that guy to get off lunch, and he's sitting in there too. just unbelievable. After he gets done eating, he looks at me and he's like, "Didn't I give you the key?" I'm like, "No." Duh. "Oh, well, I gotta check my email." And then he checked. It took him fucking 15 minutes to find his email. And of course, my boss sent it at like 2 hours before that. And he finally gives me the key. And it's like, so I don't know what time it was. It put me way behind on Monday, to the point where I didn't get up to Michigan City till 8 o'clock in the evening. Hour and a half to unload, 5-hour drive back. So I didn't get parked until like 3 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. Went home, ate dinner, transloaded my paperwork, went to sleep. Woke up at like, I sent an email to my boss telling him that what time I got back and that I could go on duty at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I figured they'd throw a Rochester Hunter on me, which delivers at like about 5 o'clock in the evening. No problem, I could have done that. And called in and he's like, "Well, I don't have anything, so do a GM load 7 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday." So basically, International fucking around all day on Monday cost me almost an entire day's pay, because it got me home so late on Tuesday that they couldn't put a load on me Tuesday day. Just, you know. So we're not going to use them anymore, and it's a loss for us because it's a lot easier to do the repair there, and it's a loss for them because we got 4 or 5 trucks that stay in Cincinnati that probably would all have the service done there. So, you know, it's a lose-lose for everybody. But I'm just warning you guys, if you got to get work done, I mean, if you got to do it, you got to do it, but I'm warning you, those guys, Miami Valley International Service, Sharonville, Ohio, on Highway Drive. They're nice people, but they don't seem very organized. I don't know whether it's because they're overwhelmed with too much business or what the issue is, but see that a lot with trucking companies, with trucking in general. What normal people, like for a car dealer, or if you go buy a TV at Best Buy, what most people consider appropriate and normal customer service doesn't exist in the trucking industry. When it comes to service, warranty work, just in general, I don't know why that is, but they just don't seem like they have it together very well. And I mean, it's not just not just my company. The previous company that I worked at, it was that way. They did their own service, and even inside their own service bays, it was the left hand didn't know what the right hand was doing. Where's that truck? Where's the key? Oh, we don't know where the key is. You know, oh, we're waiting on a part. You know, oh, it was something else, and it just, you know. The only place that I ever really noticed the service was decent was when I worked for Schneider National. And, you know, back then, it's not true now, back then they had a lot of service bays up here in Seville, Ohio. I mean, I think they had 8 service bays. Some of them were just for tires and stuff like that, but, you know, they had me, I mean, just as a comparison, when I worked for Online, you take the truck in. Oh shit, it's going to take a day or so to get that fixed. Okay. Well, I'm stuck here, not at home, can't get home. What do you want me to do? Well, just sleep in the driver lounge. Or here's the key to this truck out there. Go sleep in that truck. When I worked for Schneider National, you had to go in. All of them had a security gate, and you would Hold on. You would, when you came in, they would ask you your driver number, and the lady at the gate, she'd say, your truck is due for PM, or your truck is going to be due for PM soon. You want to get it done now, and you'd go in, and like when the clutch, the only thing I ever had go wrong with my Schneider truck, in 2 years, the air conditioner, a bearing locked up in the AC compressor and tossed the serpentine belt. And at some point the clutch failed, like the clutch disc exploded. Clutch disc exploded, so they're going to have to pull the transmission. Went in, took it in, told them what was wrong with it, what happened, and they said, well, it's going to be probably not going to get to tomorrow, and it'll take at least a day or a day and a half to finish it all together. Well, it ended up being in like 2 days and a half. And so we knew it was going to be overnight. Anytime the service was going to be overnight or over your 10-hour break, they put you up in a hotel for free. No, I pay for it and they reimburse me. They just paid for it. They had a taxi come and pick you up at their operations center and take you to the hotel. And they'd give you the breakdown pay too. I mean, I wasn't making shit an hour, shit per mile. It was like when I was a new driver too, so I was a fresh CDL driver. I think they started me out at, I think it was 26 cents or 28 cents a mile, and then they guaranteed at least $300 or $350 a week gross for the first 6 months, I think. 3 months or 6 months, I can't remember. But it was like every 6 months you got a raise. I mean, it was like 28 cents, and then 6 months later it went to 30 cents, and then 6 months later it went to 32 cents. So I think it was 26, 28. No, it was 28 cents, 30 cents, 32 cents, and then that was the end of the automatic raises. So, and there were automatic raises, but then it was like, after 3 years you got a raise, or in 5 years you got another raise, in 7 years you got another raise. But I mean, they were a pretty amazing company. Yeah, I wasn't getting paid that much per mile, but man, they kept them wheels turning. If I was a seasoned driver where they were paying good mileage, it'd be a good place to work for, because man, they had the logistics down. I mean, you had to send in on the Qualcomm, how many hours you have to work, what is your ETA on your delivery, how many hours you can have available when you get there on your 11 and your 14, how many hours do you have left for the week, and you had to update that all the time. So if you stopped and took a piss break for 15 minutes, you need to send all that information again. And that was a pain in the ass. But the positive of it is, usually about an hour before you got to your delivery, your next load came over the Qualcomm, and it was a load you could do legally. And that's how it worked most of the time. Yeah, shit goes wrong sometimes, and you'd sit for a while. But most of the time, man, it was just like clockwork, And they had logistically, man, they had their shit together like no other company I've ever worked for. And the only reason I left Schneider was that my mom got sick, and it looked really bad at the time. So I took family medical leave, and I was also getting tired of being away 3 weeks at a time. So, and my mom got better, I decided not to go back. Found a local job, driving a box truck, and did that for about a year, and then went to work for Online. Worked there for 2 years, and then this local job showed up, and for Ruan, and I like Ruan pretty well. I mean, you know, like any company, they have their ups and their downs, but they have pretty good benefits, though. I mean, the pay's not bad, but my benefits don't cost me that much, and it's Blue Cross Blue Shield